What's Simon?
It's minor. Just hyperextended it a little bit, so he's okay. Yeah.
Is he going to get any MRIs? Or?
Nah, he's okay.
Jim, you want to give us a kind of a take on where you guys are at from Eugene, Oregon? We're doing a preseason Pac-12 tour and just kind of checking in with you guys.
We're doing good. Yeah, we're up here in San Bernardino. We've had a lot of really good practices. I'm excited about the direction of our team.
How about Brett?
Brett's doing great. He's had a great camp so far. He's making progress every day. Excited about the direction he's headed in.
As he sort of was a big chunk of your offense last year, what do you expect out of him this year to sort of grow a little bit more even?
He just needs to become a better decision maker. When to throw it away, when to get out of bounds, when to slide, things like that. Just natural progression that a young guy makes. The more he plays, the better he'll get. So we're excited about him.
The running back position then?
Yeah, we got 5 guys. They'll all play. Yeah.
What gives you reason to be encouraged there with after Jonathan left, you see now you got a group that you got to sort of figure out who's going to do what?
Well, we know what they're going to do. They're all 5 going to play. And we like them all. They're good players. They've been in the program. So, we think we've got a really good group there. You're not going to have Jonathan Franklin, but you've got a cluster of guys there that know none of this stuff. Something's going on there.
Has the DB situation clarified the last few days? Or since
No,
you've been
not
out?
at all. It's probably become a little more muddy with Johnny Johnson going down. Yeah, But I like the group. I think it's a talented group. It's just extremely inexperienced, as we all know.
Right.
So, but I see progress out of a lot of the young guys. You see Priest making big strides. He's really talented. You see. To me, Tyler Foreman has really improved the last couple practices. I don't know, how he fits into the rotation or if he does. The real surprise probably in the secondary has been Jayon Brown. His moving from linebacker into the secondary and how he's adapted to a position that he's really never played before. If we were to go out and play a game tonight, he'd probably be our starting nickel. So that says a lot about we're his, but it also says a lot about our lack of experience.
Do you think the fact that we've seen in college football the spreads and the offense really take a lot of leaps the last couple of years? We always hear that it's all cyclical, and at some point it's going to turn back. Is there anything that makes you think it's going to start turning back this year toward a more that the defenses are going to have better answers for those offenses?
I don't know. I think we just have to wait and let it play out. I know the national champions don't do it, so maybe we'll start to copy that a little bit. I don't know. I agree with you in the fact that it does. Trends, come and go, and the game changes continually. I just don't know where it is with regards to that. I think it'd be interesting to see what happens at the college level and at the NFL level. How a guy like Chip Kelly affects the NFL. So it'll be interesting.
Jim, you've already been asked this, but your thoughts on some people are calling the Clowney rule with this, the reviews this year, and a guy might get ejected for a hit, and it could carry over to the next game. Your thoughts on that kind of thing?
I'm not a fan of it. I think it's really difficult. I think it puts a real burden on the officials. And I've been doing this a long, long time, and I've seen a lot of hits that look one way in person, and they even look different immediately after on replay than they do maybe 24 hours. And I think that what's difficult is to judge intent. For the official on the field and the official that's replaying it, whether that's the official on the field or somebody in the booth. And the ramifications are so drastic. You're talking about kicking a kid out of a game, and the way that could affect his team and the way it affect his career. I don't like it at all. I think it's, in my opinion, like I said, I've been coaching for 29 years. It's the worst rule I've ever heard of. I'm not overstating that, but we got to, people above my pay grade made that decision, and so we've got to deal with it. But Javon Clowney, if anyone doesn't think that was just like a beautiful football play, that was a beautiful football play by a great football player.
What's the strength of your defense as you've seen it unfold here in camp?
I think the front seven. We've got a good group of defensive linemen. We've got a really good group of linebackers. We can rush the passer. We've got to overcome that lack of experience in the secondary, though. And thankfully, we've got a decent pass rush, because your coverage's best friend is a good pass rush. So we've got to be able to get there and affect the quarterback.
Did you jump out of your chair when you saw that Clowney hit, like a lot of people did?
Oh, I just thought it was just this amazing play by an amazing athlete, And I understand player safety. You guys have been around me enough to understand how important it is to me that players are safe, especially when we're talking about head injuries, because those are lifelong injuries. But I also think that that the ramifications, the penalty is so drastic, and if they get it wrong, and then you come back on a Sunday or a Monday and you say, we shouldn't have kicked this kid out of a game. Well, these kids only get so many games. They're not professional athletes. Their career might not go on for another 10 years. It might go on for another 3 or 4 games, if it's the wrong guy. And to penalize them for something that they potentially didn't do, I think would be a real tragedy. And if it affects the outcome of a game, I think it's even worse yet. So, we'll see how it goes. I know the officials will do the best job that they can. We've had the officials out here. They seem to have a pretty good grasp of it. Although the other day we had a play out here with our officials when they said that hit would have resulted in ejection. They came back to me about 45 minutes later and said, we've thought about it, and it wouldn't result in ejection. Well, okay, so do I get to now bring him, go put your stuff back on and come back out, or how's that work? So just I don't know. I don't think it was. I don't like it.
Is that the kind of thing where you even talk to a guy like Anthony Barr about that?
We talk about it as a team. We go through the hits. The NCAA put out a great video with Kirk Herbstreit, talking to the players, showing examples, what was legal and what would be deemed illegal now, what would result in ejection, and it's still not crystal clear. So, but it's a rule we have to respect and we have to adhere to. I'm just hopeful that in none of our games something happens where one of our players, makes a play, gets ejected, and then that's A. And then the worst part of it, if they came back and said, we screwed that one up, because those kids, they don't get that game back. There's no do-overs. So I would imagine that the prudent officials, and I think our officials are very good, would err on the side of not ejecting. Enforce the penalty, but not ejecting. It's just too drastic.
How about adding in another review into the
ones
they have
a review. It's a reviewable.
No, I'm saying adding that in to the ones we already have.
Well, no, this is you would not get ejected without a review. So the play would happen, they'd throw the flag, and then they'd review it. And if they decided on review that it wasn't a malicious hit to the head, it wasn't launching, it wasn't his intent was not to make the kind of play that should result in ejection, then the player is not ejected, the penalty would stand. But the problem is that the emotion, the passion on the field, the intensity on the field that the players feel and the officials feel, I think makes it really hard to diagnose those things. So, but like I said, it's a rule. We have to live with it. Don't like it, don't agree with it, but we're gonna go with it.
I was speaking to the time of the game too, like extending the time of the game. We already have a lot of reviews as it is.
I don't care about that.
Doesn't bother you?
No, I'm not too worried about commercials and stuff like that. Yeah, or if we missed the start of last week, I just wanted to get it right.
What's been the biggest difference with Devin Fuller between the end of last season and this camp?
Well, he looks like a receiver rather than a quarterback trying to play receiver. Like his routes are much better. His change of pace in running his routes is better. He's in and out of his breaks cleaner. He seems to catch it a lot cleaner. You'll see every once in a while he'll bobble the ball, but not very often. He's got great burst, which we knew, but he's got, I think now, better body control running his routes. And he's a fabulous athlete. I think we all recognize that. The guy's just got special skills, and sometimes maybe you don't appreciate it as much because he makes it look so darned easy. He's just effortless in the way he moves.
Is that one of those guys you can look at and maybe he's one of the more likely guys to break out, I guess, on offense compared to what he did last season?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, you know, I think in the Pac-12 championship game, he had 7 catches. I think he had a touchdown.
Yeah, 7,
too.
I think.
Yeah, and he was just starting to learn the position. The thing about Devin is, you know, he could probably be one of the best safeties in the country too. You know, if he played that position, he was a heck of a safety in high school. So, but we're not looking at. Shouldn't even say anything. Why do I want my
You
mouth?
just love your defensive backs.
I do.
It's already tweeted. So.
I do. He's a good player.
Wouldn't moving Priest to safety solve that problem?
Oh gosh. Where's Tracy?
He's a corner.
Yeah, he's a corner.